Listen, we all have that one family member or friend who claim they want their life suffering of continued cycles to end and their hearts to mend, but their spirit right then is currently unwilling to bend. Instead of taking the time to find what's really going on inside, it's easier for them to hide inside their lives, claiming to not need anyone by their side or any religion to guide. Yet if pillowcases were removed and their speech subdued, we'd all see their tear-soaked stains, reflective of internal worries, hurts, and pains. Steadily complaining, constant lovers renaming of how life's draining, yet unchanging, just continued life's storms and all of its raining. Always ready for war, but refuse the wisdom that's necessary for the training. No true foundation, only their mind's interpretation on repeat, are that of bad choices and advice from wounded voices. And though inner healing first is badly needed, anger, hurt, resentment continues, left unplowed and firmly seated in them. Inside themselves there is an emptiness, a resentfulness, inner souls looking out from the sand unto the shore, a longing for more. Their bodies are worn, hearts are torn, often wondering the real reason that they were put on this earth and what specifically for. They believe if they continue to hide the pain, maybe pursue and build financial gain, climbing corporate ladders while pockets get fatter, that inside depression will scatter. From their directives, but our perspectives, they only want us to see their strengths, finding it easier to hide from the world and continue to twirl in it, though they are only being depleted and then deleted in it. From their directive, but our perspective, they boast, look at me, I'm so happy. The world sees the laughing and the smiling, but inside one's crying and dying, fighting themselves while trying to find some peace of mind, but can't. Asking themselves, why must they always have to pay the cost for what they've lost, but never blaming the boss of their lives, which is always them. For in their lives, there's always bouts of shouts, constant upsets and regrets, mood swings of mad then sad, still wounded from absent moms and unpresent dads, wanting a future so bad, but lacking the strength to leave their past. They choose to conceal and self-heal, pressing forward, yes, but losing their zeal, clinging to fiction and calling it real. Continuing life's tumultuous ride of pride, hands in the air, chest puffed with each stride. Poor decisions and the results that come with, but if you dare ask why, dementia sets in or they're pleading the fifth. When will they realize that clinging to society causes many varieties of anxieties and continuous insobrieties, drowning only in self-proprieties, results in often in the incapability of seeing and therefore then being all that they were intended to be, trading instead an abundance of life for that of continued mediocrity. Choosing rather to live life viciously, officially, superficially, keeping busy, always on the go, to and fro, but to where? They're like a cannibal looking for something tangible, but instead finding nothing more than opened and then soon closed doors, and more pain. Then questions and cries of whys, wails of unspoken thoughts and wanting to die, but they have found a method. Easier to keep it moving, all the time grooving, than to slow down and admit that they've really just given up and quit on themselves. Quit trying to grow, true selves within getting to know, choosing only acquaintances because real friends can't be part of their show, not wanting to really see, as often not ready for any advice that's steady, as a true friend reveals when one's off track, but prepare, because real truth from a real friend often reveals the turning of backs from them. Because they'd rather stand alone or pick up a phone because they really just need someone to listen or someone to bone. Please listen, provide undivided attention to endless venting and bear witness to destructive missions. They need no permission to complain. God, oh no, please don't mention his name, for the name alone causes too much shame. Their indiscretions, please provide no intercession, because in their minds you co-sign or resign. To them, God's truth has become nothing but judgment. And even if God's truth is grounded in love, and the words at that moment in time were sent from above, you are to stay mute, ignoring their roots, and give them no truth, and no talk please of why their life's harvest beareth no fruit. But if only they could see that, a true friend's conversation brings forth a revelation, an unveiling of a mind's incarceration of sin, and a true friend will take a look-see into that of the unnecessary, of frustrations, aggravations, and constant misinterpretations of who God really is. One is often in denial of what they really need, as they are using the conversation to only fulfill an internal need of self-greed of you. So for that family member or friend who claim they want their life suffering to end and their hearts to mend, please hear this. A person who really loves you and wants you to be whole will stand up and be bold and not fold to the pressure of preserving a friendship, as God's truth has everything to do with kinship. As we have watched you season after season, but you refuse to see the reason. But please know, in order for you to grow, that until God comes in, this new life you crave can never truly begin. God says that you do not have to let torment be your story, that you can circumvent in his glory, that he can be your God every day and not one of just urgency and emergency. He's waiting on you to realize that you are the reason that he died, and the life you live now to him is no surprise. That it is your wayward living and thinking that has your life sinking and constantly blinking, trying to wipe away all the tears of painful years. Because when Jesus died on the cross, your sins he did toss, final breath muttering, "It is finished." And on that day your sins were forgiven, diminished. For 3 days later he had risen. He asks now for all to come to him that are weary and burdened, and he will trade you rest for your stress, never to be oppressed, trading your yoke for his peace, and you will be nothing but continually blessed. I promise.